What's up, guys? It's Quicksilver here, and let's see, I've been a little bit of a busy boy since we last talked. I'm down here in the Nether, kind of working on the Blaze farm, I guess kind of the building here. Haven't done a whole lot yet. I'm going to kind of do some recording in chunks. I guess really, just to kind of orient you guys, if you've been following the series at all, I found actually from my, I guess not really the Nether hub, but from where my minecart tracks end from my Nether hub. That's right over there. Incidentally, by the way, guys, I am in peaceful mode just so I'm not getting shot at. I don't want to lose any of the progress that I've made over here yet. It's been a pain in the ass. So, anyway, this is my minecart tracks that I have that will take me back to the hub and then back to the overworld eventually. But over this way, I found this little cave. I mentioned last time that I was going to try and do some kind of a really cool, hopefully an epic build. We'll see what it turns into. But if I follow this little cave, I've built this little bridge out of I guess I always want to call it marble because that's what it looks like, but I guess it's quartz technically. And I'm trying to make it look kind of like a spinal column, so it looks kind of, I actually, in some of the other stuff that I worked on, I actually have a cover going over this thing. It almost makes it look like a rib cage over a spine. But the reason I didn't do that is, and I don't know if you can see it really well, I'm going to try and back up over here, give you a little bit better perspective. I'm trying, I will ultimately have, but there's a skull that I've built right here inside that. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. I'll try and lighten this thing up as much as I can in edit mode without going totally goofy. But when I had the cover on this thing, you completely could not see that thing, so I was really losing kind of the impact of it. So I got the two eyes here, the nose, and then I've got kind of this open mouth thing. And the plan here is I'll half slab this out. I don't know if I'll use wood or what I'll make the floor out of in here, but basically everything here that you see that's netherrack is going to go away and be replaced with another material. I think these are going to be lava pools right here and right here that's going to let us light this area up. So I don't know if I'll climb up to the ceiling or somehow I'll have like little lava streams that'll go down like kind of in the middle-ish of this. And then I think I'm going to use stone brick from the cobblestone up. So I'm just, really I put the cobblestone in down here just to get kind of a variation of materials. But yeah, I want it to look like this skull is kind of coming out of this wall. So anyway, we'll run up the skull here, and once we go in, we'll have our step. Those will actually be half slab steps, and then because I need to go up a little quicker, I'll use full steps right here for these blocks, and then this is the blaze farm. So there's our control for it, and there's our crusher for it. So we can just kind of come up here and do that. Then down here, I've also got the half slab steps will break off this direction and then that direction. And I'll probably have some sort of an enchanting setup over here since we'll be able to get a lot of XP really quickly off of this. And then, I don't know, maybe some storage or something here, and then these walls will continue up here. I did have to tear out, there were actually some supports here for the netherrack bridge above, so I have a whole bunch of bricks now, but I have that kind of finished off looking, and that might actually be the top of the building that I'm working on here. And then this is going to be, I guess, kind of like a tower or something that'll house this, and then I'll probably tear out all of this netherrack here, and we'll put a cap on it so that once we are actually inside this thing, we will be completely impervious to any of the obnoxious mobs out there. I'm a little bit concerned because right here I think we have enough room that we could potentially spawn a ghast in here, but hopefully not. So we'll give it a shot. We'll see what happens. If it's a problem, then I don't know. Maybe I'll have some kind of hanging stalactite looking thing or something that will break up the space a little bit so that we don't have ghast spawning in here. But we'll see how that goes. Then over here I've got I'll throw a door in here, but I've already kind of done this. I've half slabbed this up so we can just run right up, and this will actually take us into the nether fortress. So that'll be how we're going to get in here. It'll be kind of a backdoor entrance, and then there's some stuff here I've not really explored yet, but that'll take us up over here into the fortress proper. And if we want, we can still head out back this way, and I'll probably keep this little access flight of steps here. I think I'll probably keep that. I may block it off a little bit, but we'll see kind of how that goes. But yeah, so that is kind of what I've been busy doing. This is just kind of a drop off now, but I do have on this side, I've got another door that I'll throw in that'll let us get out on this side. I don't really think I'll be using it very much because there's not a whole lot over here except for certain depth, because this kind of drops off real quick into a lava lake. So I don't know, maybe I'll do something with that down the road, but at this point in time I don't have any plans for it, but you never know, that can change. It is Minecraft, right? So there's kind of our spinal column looking bridge as far as Minecraft will let us do. And yeah, I'm excited about it. You know, I've been working in Netherrack to kind of get the shape of the skull out. I think it still needs some work, but ultimately I am going to convert it to the quartz blocks as well. So it's really hard to see right now, but ultimately it will not be. And then the recessed areas that I've got in here, I actually have some materials to make some dark gray hardened clay. So kind of charcoal gray dark color that I'll fill in the eye sockets and then where the nose would be, so that we can make it look like there's a little more depth to it. Because this stone is just, man, I made the comment I think in my last video that I hated to record down here because I feel like it's kind of hard to see everything, but I thought it was because everything is just so dark. But as soon as I start putting in lighter blocks, bam, this place lights up, man. Interesting note, and I don't know if it's just my texture pack or if it's just in general. I should actually switch back to default just to see, but the half slabs of the quartz that are right here obviously look kind of like this, I don't know, kind of this dirty yellowy kind of a color versus the bright white of the others. I think that's just a lighting glitch, but yeah, I thought that was kind of an interesting thing to note. I kind of like the contrast it gives, so I'm not altogether upset about it, but I do feel like it's maybe a little bit of a disconnect with what it should be, since it really, I think the half slabs and the full slabs use the same texture, so there's really no reason for it to look like that. But anyway, that's that. I'm actually going to head up to the overworld now so we can get started on our project for the day, and that is actually it might be something I have to split into two. I'm not sure. 2 episodes rather. I'm not sure. It just kind of depends on how it goes. I'm going to be winging it a little bit. I think I mentioned at the end of my last video that I wanted to build. I think I'm going to tear out my pig farm and build a new one. And I'm going to base it off of, I saw a video by Xisumavoid. I'll try and put a link to that in here in the description. He did kind of a cool pig farm thing that he was building on the Hermitcraft server, where he's kind of got the pigs traveling in a circle. Well, you know, Minecraft circle, which means a square, but pushing them around constantly with water. And he uses that to breed them, and then the fact that the baby pigs are only half of a block high, he can keep the big pigs from slipping down into a hole, but he blocks off a central hole area with half slabs, and the baby pigs kind of work their way down there. He's got just kind of a big hopper system, and he goes down there and he chops them up. But I think I'm going to do something a little different. I think I'm going to try and mobivate them up and out of there, and I've kind of goofed around a little bit in my contraption world, and it seems like I can do that. So I'm hoping that that's what we'll be able to do. I will certainly jerk around with that a little bit and see if we can't get it cooking. I do need to do a little bit of thinking. Initially I was planning on just tearing out the existing pig farm, but unfortunately the redstone for the cooker that we've got for the cows, it takes up a little bit more room than we need. The best I could probably do with that thing would be to build it like 4 by 7 or something like that, but unfortunately by the time we turn that into a trough, we wouldn't have any room. We get the pigs to go one way but not the other. So I think I'm probably going to relocate the pigs, but I got to give a little thought on where I want to put them. I'm kind of leaning toward, I don't know, there are a couple of places I've thought about throwing them over here. I've thought about throwing them over here maybe underneath the wheat farm or into this hillside. I think that's far enough away from the mob spawner that I don't think we'd bump into anything. But I think I might be kind of leaning toward doing it over by the villager spawning cells. I've not actually done anything else with that. I'll give you guys an update on the mini mall as soon as I do anything, but I've been building in the nether for the last, really the last couple of episodes, well, I guess the last 3 episodes, but I haven't really been doing much up here. I still need to get my infinite paper villager in there and some sort of a better blacksmith villager in there as well. So anyway, yeah, I'm going to go AFK now and see if I can't solidify some place that I want to actually build I guess the advanced new pig farm. So yeah, I guess actually one other thing, and I don't really know that I mentioned it yet here, with the pig farm design. Like I said, I'm giving credit to Xisumavoid because I think the little rotisserie of pigs, if you want to call it that, I think it's just a great solution to keeping them moving around for breeding purposes. But I am going to kind of make it my own design. I don't know if I'll do a tutorial on it. It depends, I guess, on how successful it is, because obviously I've not built it yet, so I don't really have a good benchmark to say, hey guys, this is an amazing pig farm. But if it works the way that I think it's going to work, I think it's going to be really great, because we'll be able to just breed a shit ton of those guys and cook them up similar to how we're doing with the cows down low. So, alright, I'm going to go ahead and go AFK, figure out where I want to build that thing, maybe get my trenches dug before I come back in here with you guys, and definitely get rid of the rain, because that's just flat out obnoxious. So, okay guys, I think I figured out where I want to put this thing. Well, apparently I figured out where I want to put this thing, since I've gone ahead and dug it out, or at least dug out a good portion of it. Just to give you bearings, that is the main house, and this is the Iron Golem farm / eventually the potion brewing station, which I still need to do, and the snow farm in there. Just to show you, I guess, a little better how this thing is gonna work. Here we are. This is where the sheep, where the pigs are going to get carried around in their little carousel. I'll replace these blocks here once we're all done here. But while we're digging, I'm not going to do it. So my thought is I'll put water like right here, and I'll throw a sign. Probably throw a sign. I guess I'll put a sign here and here, and I'll throw my water here, so it'll flow down one and around. That way, where the water stops, it'll feed right up into that stream, so it'll be a solid stream. We won't have to worry about putting steps here. And the reason that's important is because if we throw the steps there, then it's going to give some areas where the adult pigs could possibly hop down into here, and we don't want that. Now the way that it stands right now, they can do that, but we're going to do this to prevent that from happening. So that is going to give us the big pig stop, if you want to make a little rhyming thing. It's also going to make it very dark down here, because we get, I don't know, the weird lighting glitches that Mojang has fixed, in theory, about 19 times that hasn't really got fixed. But yeah, okay, I'll throw a torch down here. It doesn't much matter. But yeah, so now at this point, the big pigs cannot fit down here, but the baby pigs can. So my hopes are that while they're getting carried around here in a carousel, or in the carousel, they will either get pushed over by the big pigs, or just fate will happen and they'll get knocked down there. So I guess the next thing we've got to do is, once we get the baby pigs down here, we've got to take them somewhere. My thoughts, and I got to play around with the water a little bit. If I throw a water source block in each of these corners here, I could push them all to the middle, and at that point I'm wondering, I found that I can mob evade them up if I use a 2-block wide channel. So at that point I could, in theory, take these guys out of here by going up. Ooh, I gotta go sleep. But I could take them up out of the middle of that thing, up somewhere to like right here, where we could cook them. But I'm not sure. I want to give a little more thought to that as well. Maybe I can, have Minecraft dreams about it or something here. So anyway, that is the plan, and that's just kind of the rough how that's going to work. So once we've mob evaded them either up and out of there, or just moved them around down lower and got them out of there, in either case, ultimately I'm going to drop them into a kill chamber, just like we've got for the cows, where we should be able to burn them alive and make yummy cooked pork for ourselves. Sort of like what I was trying to do here, except this time it'll actually work. So, or at least it better work. If not, hey, you guys can watch me build a big old big old carousel for pigs. So anyway, yeah, I'll take a peek at that, and we'll kind of get cracking on the rest of this. Okay guys, here we are looking at a big hole in the ground over here by the farm. I think this is where I'm going to bring the pigs up. At least it is for now. I may change my mind on it. I'm not sure I'm really in love with the placement of it, but it's probably the most direct route that I can think of to get the pigs out of the farm when they're ready to come out. So I guess the next thing to do is just show you what the plan is here. Here we are in the little room underneath here where the baby pigs will fall. And my thought is, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to throw these blocks in here. Oh, yeah, that's what I was going to do. Okay, can you tell it's late, guys? There we go. I'm going to throw those blocks in here. Then what I have is I've got a water channel here that I think is going to be okay. If it's not okay, then it really is late and I need to stop recording. But, yeah. There we go. So now we've just got any of the pigs that fall in here should get shoved over here and dropped off right into there, and then that's going to push them down here, and I'll have to do something here to continue it along. Actually, you know what? I have... Oh, shoot. Let me go refill my buckets here really fast, because that's how I'm going to get out. Oh, come on, man. Well, that's good. That's going to be really hard for him to swim up and out of. I need to get over here to this source block. Man, that's obnoxious. Oh, there we go. Good. I can do like that then. Good, good, good. Alright, so there we go. I think, well, here, I'll show you guys what I'm planning to do for the main part of the trough up there. Is just placing 2 signs like that. Then I can place a water bucket here. And let me see if I can't go back here. There's one brief moment where these guys can get suffocated, but you can hold your mob can hold their breath for that long. So it should be okay. So yeah, I think from here I'm going to want to throw a sign there, and I'll throw another one here. Is that right? Yeah, and then when I put a water source block here, this will kind of arc up into it. So I'm hoping that's not... you know what, I think that's probably going to be a little too close the more I think about that. Let's pull that water source block back out. I'm going to move that back one more just to be safe here. Just because, yeah, I've got the room. Actually, I go two back and save a sign. Let's do that. I don't like how, I think my fear is if I do that, guys, that the pigs are going to have too much of an area. Yeah, right there. See, now there's no doubt in my mind when they get to here that they're going to be safe, and that the water source blocks are going to carry them up. They've had a chance right here to get another gulp of air, so they should be safe. So alright, so that's that. I'm going to go ahead and get out of here and go sleep off the night, and yeah, I'll give you guys another progress report once I get a little further along, but this is starting to come together. So yeah, I decided I was going to place it over here. I know I kind of dinked around with maybe some other possible places for it. I'm not sure it's my favorite place, but it's kind of in between the 2 main parts of the base, so I should be going by here a fair amount. Obviously I have the bridge up there to carry me across more often than not, but nonetheless it's an easy little jaunt down here from the farm right here to go ahead and feed the pigs. The carrots are here, and the pigs that I'm going to initially populate this with are right over here too. So actually I should probably feed those guys so I have a ton of them, because the more I can get in here, the more productive this farm is going to be. So alright, yeah, I'm going to go sleep off the night, and I'll be right back. Alright guys, so I just checked the time on this, and we're getting a little bit long, so I think I am going to go ahead and split this up. Shouldn't be a lot left to do in this in the next video. But yeah, here it is, a little bit cleaned up. Not sure I'm really pleased with the look of it yet. Little boxy for me. So I might do some more work on it to kind of clean it up, but it does appear that it's going to do the trick. I think what will happen is when the pigs roll around this area that I was kind of excited about, I feel like I can still be excited about. I don't think the pigs are going to manage to get through here, but yeah, we'll see when I run a test on it to actually run through it. Hopefully it will keep them all inside and doing what they're supposed to do. I do have one concern though. I think when I'm feeding these guys carrots, I think what could happen is they're going to start to fight the current as they travel around this direction. And if that does happen, I could end up with kind of a blockade of pigs here that could kind of gum things up. But I'm hoping that this is large enough that if I just keep moving around left to right while I'm feeding them, then the ones to the right will lose interest in me and continue to move around. So we will see how that works out. But yeah, I guess that next video that I do, like I said, this is a little long, but so I'll do this next time. I'll get some of the pigs up here. I need to breed some more of those guys still too anyway, so I'm not too worried about that. One other thing that I did want to note, I used to build a KFC chicken farm kind of like Monkey does, or like Monkey does, let me try that again, like a Monkey Farm does. I was always a big fan of it. The one thing I didn't like was when you had the chickens floating in the water, anytime you get within 16 blocks of the device or of where the chickens were, because I did have them similar to how he did, I'd have them outside of my base where the chickens would live, but anytime I approached them, you got within 16 blocks and it loaded the chunk, or as you were leaving 16 blocks and it unloaded the chunk, you get these horrible lag spikes. I think I remember hearing somewhere that that was due to it had to do with mobs on water. It had something to do with the way the entities and the computing time when the mobs were loaded and unloaded, the way that your computer dealt with that data and that information, I'm assuming, because they had to bob up and down. It was a lot more complex than just a normal mob was for them, for the computer to handle. But anyway, I did test this out in my contraption world, and it appeared to work with no problem. So I'm feeling pretty good about this. I don't think it's going to be too big of an issue. I probably am going to, just because I'm anal retentive, I'll probably end up going back in this thing and cleaning these things up since I have it lit in there. But I can get to that from in here, so I think we're going to be in pretty good shape. I guess other than that, yeah, I haven't gotten any requests or anything to build the giant skull in the nether on camera, so I'm not going to worry too much about showing you guys that as I work on it. I'll probably just go ahead and build that off camera, and I'll give you guys progress updates. So who knows, hopefully next time, the next video that I do, I'll have a lot more progress done on that, as well as be ready to get the pigs into the farm here. So anyway, that is my story here tonight. I guess today, depending on what time you guys are watching it. But yeah, if you liked what you saw, please give me the old thumbs up. It really does help the channel out a bunch. And if you really liked what you saw, then go ahead and subscribe, and I'll keep putting out these videos, guys. So I will see you next time. Ow.